In a significant escalation, Trump floats the idea of carrying out military strikes within Mexico and Colombia in his effort, as he says, to fight the drug cartels, perhaps also to distract us from the Epstein files, and who knows what other goals. Well, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum has a message for him. She says, that's not going to happen. My name is Dina Doll with the MeidasTouch Network. Let's get into it. Now, Trump was in the Oval Office when he was asked by the press whether or not he would consider doing this. And in Trump fashion, he says yes, that he's not happy with Mexico. And evidently, making Trump happy is what's dictating foreign policy. Foreign policy against our neighbor to the south, an ally in trade, ally in security. He says that he'd be willing to carry out military strikes against what he says are drug cartels in Mexico. He also says he'd be willing to do that in Colombia. Take a listen.
Also potentially launching strikes in Mexico or putting American troops or American personnel into Mexico to deal with drugs.
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs? It's okay with me. Whatever we have to do to stop drugs. Mexico is... Look, I looked at Mexico City over the weekend. There's just some big problems over there. If we had to, would we do there what we've done to the waterways? You know, there's almost no drugs coming in through our waterways anymore.
Now, of course, the Mexican president, Claudia Sheinbaum, was asked about Trump's comment. The fact that the idea that her neighbor to the north, which obviously has superior military capacity, is floating the idea of carrying out military strikes in her country. What she thinks of it. So she is asked at a press conference, her own press conference, whether or not this is going to happen. And she says, quote, this is not going to happen. Her strength, her bravery, and being willing to stand up to Trump and say no, despite the fact that we know what happens when people try to stand up to Trump. He tries to make life impossible for them. I mean, we see the criminal indictments against Letitia James, who beat him, right? We see what happens with Lisa Cook, the Federal Reserve Chair, who failed to approve his interest rates, lowering his interest rates like he wanted. We see what happens to people who try to cross Trump. This is why law firms just bent the knee instead of actually fighting him. But the Mexican president, Claudia Sheinbaum, is willing to stand up to Trump. And she has done it again and again. And she does it this time clearly, swiftly. She says no. And she says no because, for one, she says, we have an arrangement with the United States. We have laid out basically security plans and agreement with the Secretary of State when he visited Mexico, that we are a sovereign country, she says. Our sovereignty matters, and we are not subordinate to the United States. All true, and yet all requiring bravery and courage to say that to somebody like Trump, the most egotistical man with way too much power. And she also points out the fact that the problem that they have had to discuss and bring up and have security arrangements and issues is that, yes, drugs do go from Mexico to the United States, from either other countries, from south of the border to the United States. But the weapons, the guns, go from the United States to Mexico, go from the United States to countries south of the border. And how do you think cartel business use the method of their violence are the weapons that the United States produces and that the United States exports. And she brings that up. I mean, could you imagine if Mexico or Colombia or Venezuela or what other country has gun violence because of the exports of our guns, say, well, we're going to go ahead and do strikes of the gun manufacturers located in the United States because we have to protect our people. That is essentially the exact argument Trump is making in reverse. Listen to Sheinbaum very bravely, courageously, and with clarity tell Trump no.
It's not going to happen. We have a security agreement, which we worked on for many months with the U.S. government and finalized when the Secretary of State was here. And we're going to keep working within that framework of understanding that has very clear principles and is laid out right at the start of this document of understanding that respects our sovereignty, our territorial integrity. We're interested in making sure no weapons go from the United States into Mexico, and that was made part of the agreement. So it's clear now that we do not agree with any kind of meddling or intervention, and that we work together and coordinate, and we are a sovereign state.
Debt from credit cards isn't an accident. It's a system built to keep Americans down. The banks profit, the creditors win, and families lose. Every call, every fee, every high interest trap is another reminder the game is rigged. But there's another side to the story. PDS debt has already helped hundreds of thousands fight back, cutting debt, ending the calls, and putting money back where it belongs, in Americans' pockets, not the banks. Whether you're struggling with credit cards, personal loans, or medical bills, PDS Debt has custom options to help you get out of debt. They go beyond the numbers to understand your unique financial situation and craft a personalized plan designed just for you. There's no minimum credit score required. They're here to help you save more, pay off your debt faster, and start putting money back where it belongs in your pocket. PDS Debt is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, boasts thousands of 5-star reviews on Google, and holds a 5-star rating on Trustpilot. Why? Because PDS has helped hundreds of thousands of people get out of debt. If I had needed this product, it's what I'd use. It is your money. It's your future. Don't let the system decide for you. You're 30 seconds away from being debt-free. Get your free assessment and find the best option for you right now at pdsdebt.com/mistrial. That's pdsdebt.com/mistrial. pdsdebt.com/mistrial. The United States has killed 83 people in the Caribbean. They've struck 21 boats. Just at the time of this recording, there is a family of a fisherman who wants more information about his death. France has called these strikes violation of international law. UN experts the same. UK and Colombia have stopped sharing intelligence information. You can assume it's because they also think this is international. Many people are calling this murder because there's no evidence produced by the White House that these are in fact cartel boats. And they certainly have had no trial or conviction. The fact is the DOJ issued a memo because there was red flags being concerned within the military that these orders were going to be illegal. And so the DOJ said that no, these are legal because their argument was that Trump could designate the cartels as terrorist organizations because the cartels aren't selling the drugs to the United States to make money. They are selling them in order to use the money to somehow foster violence in the United States. This nonsensical argument, very weak. The fact is, Trump is putting at risk American men and women serving in our military. And we are seeing an unprecedented appeal to those service people to not carry out unlawful orders. We see a video put together by senators and representatives, Senator Mark Kelly, Senator Elisa Sokin, who have worked in intelligence and the military, calling and speaking to them directly, the personnel directly who have to carry out the orders, saying, do not carry out international orders. And they're saying this for domestic, international. Unfortunately, there's quite a bit of very vague and unconstitutional orders Trump is asking the military to carry out. Take a listen at this really, really bold and unprecedented move. The fact that they even have to make a video like this. Take a listen.
I'm Senator Elisa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris Deluzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
Who take risks each day
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals
against American citizens.
like us. You all swore an oath
To protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad.
But from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard.
And that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army,
Our Navy,
The Air Force.
Your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution,
And who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
Trump is making us less safe by destroying our alliances, and he's making men and women who have volunteered to serve in our military less safe. Thank you to our sponsors for the Mistrial podcast. If you haven't checked them out in the link below. They never censor what we have to say. And be sure to hit the subscribe button to the MeidasTouch YouTube channel if you haven't already.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.